stuff my face with bread, with breasts, with a shoulder of a friend, with a corner of a desk, with communion, with a yes, and I'll tell you.
Oh, just fucking crushing bowels.
Oh, God.
Jesus. Welcome back to Pretty Much Experts. Robert John here with Skyler, crushing bowels.
Oh, fuck. The other day I fucking
my
was
Lord.
making love to the roommate and she told me that I pierced her spleen. And I was-
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Having a big dick day.
Oh my God. It was like just... It was on Saturday that we had that people over and I was just like, it's gonna be a good day. You know? Got to listen to some cute...
I picked the worst time to be eating a banana.
Yeah,
right now.
really. You're stabbing spleen.
When you're going into your bowel talk, I thought we were going to talk about movements. And I was going to say today was a good movement day.
Was it a good day?
Because you and the roommate weren't home, so it was like a door open.
Oh,
There's
movement.
nothing like a
yeah.
door open movement.
Yeah. Were you part of the movement?
Oh man, door open movements are like...
Oh yeah,
it's like
See,
singing in the shower.
Had
It's
one
funny
of
you
those
say
in a
that because
minute.
I definitely dumped out today,
Yep.
and
Door open?
Like-
no door closed, and the toilet upstairs is just like I keep meaning not to dump out in it, but I
Yeah.
still do, and it took like 4 flushes for like it to all go down, and it's like I gotta go to the in-laws, like it's like I don't got time to just be sitting here half getting like little half flushes.
Yeah.
You know?
Just fucking sketching it down.
Yeah, and it was like they were all floaters, so like they were not going down at all. It would get close to the suck hole and then just like nope.
It's too much buoyancy.
Yeah, way too much buoyancy. Oh yeah, no. So I don't know, but they went down and it was good.
Yeah, the trick is you gotta be dehydrated next time you go to the bathroom.
So I can piss on them when they flush.
No, I think it's easier to flush all that crumbly shit, right? I would imagine. It rehydrates and just goes.
Yeah,
right
no, I
down.
think it's
I'm
already.
I'm just
in there.
guessing.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
this
know.
is basically science.
Yeah. It's like, you know, when you have, like, when you fart and it smells like shit and you know it's because, like, your colon is just full of shit and the gas
open.
had to escape your bowl, like, your bowel over the shit to get out, and it's just, like, that's just a pure shit fart. It's not the
Yeah.
methane that's coming out.
Yeah, there's a different smell.
There is a different, and then they're
Oh,
usually
for sure.
hot, and it's like, yeah, and then
Good
like 10
point.
minutes later, you're like, oh yeah, there's shit in my ass that is coming out.
Yeah.
Should have came
I-
out with that fart.
I'm not gonna say you blew my mind, but I'd never really thought about like farts don't smell like shit.
No.
Not all the time.
Unless there's shit in it.
Unless they do.
Unless
Unless
the
they
chamber's full.
Unless there's one in the chamber,
do.
yeah.
Chamber's full. Yeah.
I always keep one in the chamber.
Well, I haven't been dumping out today or cracking off or whatever you guys
Oh,
said. Fucking crushing bowels. But
call it opening
the
my
dog,
back.
the dogs had some fucking squirts.
Oh
man.
yeah, well, like, quit
Just
feeding
nasty,
it garbage.
nasty squirts.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to teach it portion control right now.
Right.
So I'll just I threw down a big chunk of meat. I mean, it's not going to work. It never worked with me. I can't expect it to work with a dog. But if I just threw a big chunk of meat down for him, bone and all, and he devoured it, had a great time. We fucking ran around.
Jack mine.
He was loving it.
Oh.
And today he's just been a whiny little suck, fucking squirting all over the place.
Oh, my fucking
What's up? What
body
the
is
hell's
all
RJ
cupped
doing?
out. I can't hear you at all. Can
Okay,
you
we're
hear me?
paused.
Penis,
We're
penis,
paused.
penis,
Yeah.
vagina,
Yeah, I can hear you.
vagina, vagina,
Yeah.
chick, chick. Actually, you should be talking, cuckboy. Tell me a story.
What? I can hear you.
Yeah, he can't hear you. I can hear.
Yeah.
I can hear Mike.
Oh, can you?
What about
you guys
now?
carry on without me.
Okay,
But carry me
time
with you.
in. Time in.
We're not eating shit. I just went to go get.
I don't even know
pepperoni
what I
'cause
was
I just
saying.
realized I didn't eat it all today.
That's
Yeah,
better.
that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
got those bananas.
Same.
But no, I don't know what the hell we were talking about. And RJ just pretty much left, and you fucking stopped acknowledging
I'm
everything.
eating a little cock of pepperoni, but I'm gonna try and keep it away from the mic because it's not too chewy.
Like I say, I can't
No,
fucking.
I'm not gonna hear it.
Oh my god, this.
Well, I'm not talking.
The show's
I'm not
going off
talking.
the rails. No, but it's just like
Dude, we're just cut it. We're cutting this.
No, we're not cutting
Cut
shit.
it.
This is good audio.
We're cutting it. This
Skyler
is dumb.
fucking with it. I can hear everything. Mike can hear everything.
I think we're gonna get a Gemini for this
I'm gonna-
episode.
I'm gonna submit it to the
I
Junos.
doubt it.
I think that's better.
Because they do have a low bar. They have a low fucking
Oh, yeah.
bar.
Corner gas.
Just like our listeners.
Oh
If
yeah.
they made it through that.
Yeah. Talking about our fucking dump outs
Thanks,
and then-
Brian.
Yeah. We're back.
And we're
We
back.
didn't, I'm not cutting that. That's good. That's
You
good
should
audio.
cut it.
I'm
It's not good audio. There's literally nothing there.
I'm out again.
Okay, leave it in. Leave it in. For fuck's
Oh,
sake.
yeah.
You gotta stop buying that Chinese store fucking audio cable shit.
man, it's so much cheaper than fucking
Usually
regular
I'm not,
store.
I don't have the
yeah,
issues.
duh,
Usually RJ
duh.
does.
They work for 3 hours and then you gotta buy another one. That's why they're so much cheaper.
Oh yeah. Even like looking at this like Chinese audio cable we got going. It's like the mechanism that joins the two is like clearly just some fake big piece of plastic that's supposed to look like it does something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like it's textured for like reasons that make it look like it's audio. I can only describe the two cords meet a single cord, and the place where they
Yeah.
meet looks like a microphone for no reason.
Yep.
Like just textured plastic, big ball. So like this
Yeah.
is so stupid and useless and does not work. But was like $4.
That's where your faulty part is. I bet at that
Oh, yeah.
stupid fucking glued together.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I know. I think
Assembly there.
it's this like Chinese technology where like I think they're mocking us.
Oh,
Honestly.
yeah.
Dude, it's all Chinese technology.
That it's just the like my jack.
Hmm.
The penis is not girthy enough to touch on the walls in the vagina.
Right.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? I got a
So
little.
that you're
dick
definitely not
going there.
bottoming out on that. You're not going spleen
Yeah.
deep on that.
That-
This jack has had like 3 kids and it's
Hmm.
loose.
That
Oh my god.
And I ain't fucking doing nothing. I still love her. We have a connection. We have 3 kids together.
3 kids.
But I know I
Yeah.
just don't satisfy her anymore.
That brings me to a part of my
Sounds like a
life
bit
that
of
I
a bitch.
haven't really shared with Mike yet.
Uh-oh.
But I work with this fucking little short redneck at work that just squeals when he talks. Like everything he says is like in a high H, high F. Like everybody's like, "Meh!" And he's so
Very
fucking.
hobbit.
It's so high. It's
Is he
like
a little
Is
guy?
he a pig
he's
man?
short.
Is
He's
he
not a
pig
little
man?
guy,
No.
but he is probably like shoulder high.
Yeah, okay.
He's
Is he
thick.
fat?
Oh yeah.
Like a little
Oh, so he's a pig man.
He's a
Squeals
pig
like
man.
a pig.
But he squeals, he's short, he's fat, and he has like this like use of the English language that compares to nobody.
Would you say he's mastered it?
No, he's evolved
The
it in a
opposite?
weird way,
Yeah.
but like he just has terms for things that like no one else on earth has ever used before. Like he calls like someone that might be like a little bit slow or dumb. Like we would use an R word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it wasn't
Yeah, or R word
2020,
for sure.
we'd throw the R word around, but you don't
Oh,
say that anymore.
If we're not recording, it's our word all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this guy calls those kinds of people Gary's kids.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
100% he knows someone that
Does he mean Jerry's kids?
He says Gary's
Like
kid.
that old, but like that old, isn't that like an old fucking, I don't know, thing from like the 80s? Like a PSA thing? Jerry's kids?
Corky's dad?
I don't know, but it's like I'm feeling like he knows someone named Gary that has a special needs child. Because we'll
where
be
he's
bringing
getting it,
stuff
for
into
sure.
a house, and he'd be like, "Who made this deck? Gary's kid?" And we just fucking die laughing.
But now you guys are in the joke. You're in the
Yeah,
know.
and now
don't
it's
even know
hilarious.
Who Gary is
He
or his
baited
child.
you.
I have no idea who Gary is. I don't know what issue his kid has, but now I just call everything Gary's kid, and it's so funny. But Skyler just saying that like his male part's a little too small for his female reminds me
Yeah.
of this guy at work. Openly talks about how small his dick is,
Jesus
and
Christ.
he's just like, I can't even call it sex with my girlfriend. It's more like just scraping the wall, and it's so fucking funny. Like, there's no way you can be like mid-shift working and hear someone talking about just scraping up his girlfriend's walls and not fall on your knees laughing.
In someone's home.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're like, moving like an antique clock or some shit, and he's talking about scraping his girlfriend's wall when he gets home. It is
my
so
God.
fucking funny.
Hit the old scratch post.
You're gonna scrape up the wall.
Guys, that poor guy, eh?
Oh, I love him. He's
I mean,
so
like
great.
to have the fucking nerve to just like come out and put it all on the table,
He
you know?
gives no fucks. He's great.
Yeah.
Surprised he has a
Gary.
wife.
We were driving one day and like took a really tight corner. And he's like, wow, that corner was tight as ass. And we're like laughing right away just by his voice. And one guy was like, what do you mean tight as ass? Like, that makes no sense. Like, you can't say things like that doesn't make any sense. He's like, well, when you're walking around in front of the mirror and you squeeze your ass and you get the ripples in it?
I think this guy's one of Jerry's kids.
Oh my god, he's a Jerry's kid. And then that, like, his explanation makes 100% sense to him
Yeah.
only. Like, it's
Yeah.
tight as ass. When you look in front of the mirror and you get the ripples in it, and it's just like, what
'cause
the fuck are you talking
What
about?
you're thinking is what like the rest of the world would consider tight as ass is the asshole itself
No.
is excruciatingly tight.
He does not mean
you
that.
know, like
He means when you walk in front of a mirror,
when you are
Squeeze
flexing
it,
your ass
and you
at
see
the
all the
YMCA
ripples in
mirror.
it.
That's a tight ass.
yeah, it's fucking tight as ass.
What a fucking weirdo.
He's such a weirdo, and he crushes.
You gotta bang wire this guy.
Oh, I should bang wire him. Next time I work with him, I'm bang wiring him.
Yeah, bang wire.
I'm bang
Wow.
wiring
Yeah.
him.
We're not getting that Gemini.
Yeah, we are. One other anecdote from him, like, he doesn't drink coffee in the morning. He just rips like 120, like the 200 milliliter, 250 milliliter of like Pepsi,
Oh my god.
It's just 250. Like, just a
250 is
can.
like the bottle, right?
Okay. No, this is
Or-
473.
Maybe it's I have no idea.
Must
I
be
don't
5.
fucking buy fucking rips of Pepsi.
Half liters of Pepsi.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a half
not in the
liter of
morning.
Pepsi.
No.
And he's
Yeah.
just like, I gotta get my fucking, wake up for the day, throw some Pepsi in or whatever, and we laugh at
I
him.
don't even think there's caffeine in Pepsi.
Oh, there
Like,
is.
There is.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
But it's
I
like,
thought it was
why?
one of those ones caffeine free.
He's like, why are you drinking Pepsi in the morning? That's so fucking gross. Like, just have coffee like a normal person. He's like, I like Pepsi. It tastes like Sparks. And it's so funny. But it's like, no one's ever described.
Pepsi for the morning.
No
Pepsi
one's-
for the morning. Mountain Dew code red for the
Oh
afternoon.
my god. But like, no one's ever described drinking cola as drinking Sparks. But he's
Sparks.
not wrong.
No, that's
it
very-
does
yeah.
kind of taste like Sparks.
Tastes like burning.
It's so fucking funny.
Fucking weirdo.
Wakes you up, drink the Sparks. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, when you first started describing this guy, it's like I feel like we're kin. You
Oh,
know,
he's
like
something
I feel like
else.
I gotta, like I say a bunch of shit too that I just expect everyone to know. Reference things that I mean, we all do it.
We all
to some
do,
extent.
yeah. I
This,
do a
yeah,
lot
but
of
this guy
abbreviations.
sounds like one. You say he was redneck?
Yeah.
Okay, checks out.
Yeah.
Totally checks out. Drinking Sparks checks out. And also Jerry's kids like totally checks out.
Yeah.
Gary's kids?
Gary's
Yeah.
kids. So funny.
Like you might be dealing with like someone on the list.
You know,
You
he
know.
looks like, if I had to paint an audio picture right now, he
you were to
looks like
cast him.
on our favorite show, Tiger King. The guy that only had
Yeah.
3 teeth and had like
Oh, Lord.
You gotta be
Joe's
more
Joe
specific.
Exotic's like tattoo on his stomach that he horribly covered.
Oh, John.
He looks like that guy, but like shorter and thicker.
And more or less teeth.
I think he has all his teeth.
Oh, nice. Was he on your overnight?
Dude, I
with you?
seen
No, unfortunately.
I seen a fucking meme or whatever of that guy,
Yeah.
and he had a cherry tomato stuck between his teeth. It was just like one of his 3 teeth. There was just like cherry tomato in there.
Wow.
I mean, it was good Photoshop. Whoever did it was great Photoshop.
Yeah, well, anyway, we were talking like last episode that we need to do some more bang wires, and 100% next time we're with that guy, bang wire all day. It's happening.
Yeah, gotta bang wire.
It's happening.
We're gonna have like multiple episodes here. If
We'll edit it down.
Mike gets in a
Well,
road rage
yeah.
incident and bang wires it.
Well, I can't count on anything happening and bang wiring it, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna make an effort of having my phone so I can bang
Yeah.
wire it.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Same.
There you go. Running on record always.
Oh
yeah, just ready to hit record always.
Speaking
it's literally
of
2
fucking,
clicks
like,
on my phone.
500 liters of sparks. What do you got there?
Yeah. What are you ripping? Oh, that's some brisk,
Fucking
baby.
710, baby. 710 of brisk.
Oh, that's the
Ooh.
size he throws down.
Every morning.
It's that
Jesus.
size.
Ooh,
Pepsi.
that's a dirty 710 in the morning.
Yeah, 7 in the morning, just like throwing down all those sparks. Like, it's fucked.
Just eroding your
Gotta
teeth.
get my 710 in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
710.
80 calories. That's not bad.
Gotta get
80
your
calories.
710
That's
and 710, baby.
Yeah, this is 2 cans, I guess. 2 full cans right here. That's disgusting.
That is disgusting when you say it like that.
2 full cans of Pepsi he drinks in the morning.
Yeah. Before 8 a.m. It's fucked.
Dude, I mean, like, you could do half coffee, half sugar in a cup and still be drinking less sugar. You know?
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, like, this week we have a topic that I think we're all pretty passionate about, and we should get to it sooner than the last 10 minutes of the show. And that's about, like, East Bay, California, and the punk rock movement that came out of there in the late 80s and early 90s. But before we get to that, Mike alluded to piercing his dog's ear last week. And that's kind of...
didn't.
If we want a little punk dog, that's kind of on topic that we should start there.
Listen, I was the right amount of stoned.
Yeah, you
I
were.
was considering it, and I figured I'd reach out to a few people and just feel it out. You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking take a census here and see how the general population feels about me potentially piercing my dog's ear.
I think it's a great
And the
idea.
consensus was overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, everyone's down.
Everyone's like, yeah, no, I don't think it's that bad.
Like, deers
Better than a
get ear
tattoo.
piercings.
I think, like, your
bears
children get their ear
You pierce a
pierced.
baby's ear.
Exactly. Do you think they get a say in it?
No
No.
way.
And they're human. That's
Yeah,
way worse.
That's way worse. Like, you would test
Yeah.
cosmetics on animals. Like, they don't count.
Yeah, you're not testing them on babies. You're not mutilating these fucking...
Right.
You mutilate a monkey and a fucking lab
Well, I mean,
rat
they'll
or
cut the
whatever,
end
but
of the
you're...
dick off.
So
of a
would you
child,
get
too.
the, like,
That's true, that's true.
hole puncher gun
They suck
thing?
it after. They suck it
Yeah,
after.
some of them
Okay,
do, some
you know,
cultures.
Win-win.
The
But
wheel.
yeah, no, that's the only way. I'd get the gun.
The
You gotta get
gun?
the stud gun.
And just do it in a bang.
Because it's quick and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But
if I'm
then-
fucking around with a pair of pliers and a, you know what I mean?
an ice
like,
cube.
an ice cube and a needle.
And an
trying to
eraser
fucking-
in the back.
Yeah, an eraser.
trying to keep my dog calm, you know? Like,
But do you not think you're going to completely traumatize your dog? Like, how do you think you're getting...
sleeping.
But-
Get him while he's sleeping. You just pop a diamond in there real quick.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, you don't. It's like piercing like a kid. Like me and Skylar got our ears pierced when we were like fucking 9. It's like you keep
Yeah.
that stud in for 6 weeks and you go hoop. So you thinking the same like pattern?
I think in the dog's life, hoop is dangerous.
Why? How
Because
cool?
you get ripped and
No.
snagged.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I mean, I'd hoop his nose. I think the nose hoop would be awesome on a dog, like a
Oh
pig.
my god, you can't
Or
pierce his
whatever. Or like a ox or whatever.
Like a bowl.
Like a bowl, yeah.
No one does that to pigs.
I feel like a dog's
well, I
nose
mean-
is so important that you definitely don't want to pierce a dog's nose.
Oh, I'm not gonna pierce his nose.
Like, there's
Definitely
a
not. No, I was
billion
thinking
nerve
stud on the tip of the ear. If I went hoop though, I just feel like that's like he's running through bushes.
Fuck
he's a
it.
jungle dog.
You'll learn to
you
not
know,
do
like-
that.
Eh?
You'll learn to not do that anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to. I don't want him to give up his true calling,
So-
and that's running through the jungle.
What are you
You know?
thinking then? Are you going to get some big, like, diamond earrings for your boy?
Cubic zirconian, dude. We talked about this. Okay, he's not gonna know the difference.
I think you should do the Janet Jackson and like the ear to nose with a little chain.
Dude, that's way worse.
I feel like if
Because
you
now
pierce
I'm
his-
piercing his nose, and
Yeah.
I'm like giving him like better odds of ripping them both out.
Yeah, jungle
Yeah.
dog.
Jungle dog.
Jungle dog
What
with a
about a-
chain. That'd be so badass.
It would be so badass.
You should,
Janet
what about a
Jackson's
Prince
sick.
Albert?
Wow.
Just have your dog just totally decked out with body piercing.
Pierce his
Pierce his
tail.
dick.
piercing.
Little red rocket.
Oh
not
my
using it.
god. Oh my lord.
No, that's
not
I'm
the
on
worst
board.
idea you've ever had.
No, I've never had worse ideas.
But you're pulling back off this? I thought this was a done deal. Like, this is
No,
happening.
no, I'm not pulling back off it. I'm just
Okay.
waiting for a stun gun to come around Valley Village. You know,
gotta
throw
go-
it in some boiling water and fucking good. Sterile.
You gotta hit up like a Claire's or some shit, and you know, now that they're not piercing ears, buy them off. The like girl that works there says she lost it.
Oh yeah, start a little business,
Slide her
backyard
$20.
dog piercing business.
You can pierce your own ears.
Yeah. Nah, I don't want to do piercings. I'm over it.
You have those dimples.
Those
You
days
look
are
real
gone.
cute with a set of fucking
No more
Cubics.
piercings ever.
clubs
again.
in there.
Nah.
No?
Nope.
No.
No. Done with the piercings. That was so 20s.
Yeah.
You know?
It's 2020
No,
right
I'm
now.
done. Can't do it. No, 20s, like my 20s.
Oh, I gotcha.
Dude, I fucking had my ears pierced for probably the better part of a decade, and I couldn't tell you how many times it's gotten ripped out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Enough times.
Yeah.
First punk show I ever went to, Planet Smashers, ripped right out, blood all over my brand new Me First and the Gimme Gimme shirt. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not playing around with that. I can't expect my dog to.
And even like beyond the
Running
like
through the jungle.
tragic them getting full pulled out. Like I had one pulled out and it sucked. But it's still
Fucking
just like
sucks.
you pierce it and you can't sleep on that side for like months. It's horrible.
No, dogs sleep on their backs. Shit, they're fine.
You cuck.
Like, what about babies? You think babies, parents are considered about if their baby's gonna sleep on it? Dog's just pretty much a hairy baby.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, hairy baby that doesn't wear clothes and shits outside.
It's Gary's kid.
So pretty much like Kurt's babies. Man, I'm not to put. They'll never hear this, so I'm
No.
gonna put them on blast.
Go on.
Fucking Kurt and Skylar's babies are ferocious shitters. Ferocious. Never wore underwear, never wore diapers, barely wore any clothes, and just would full on blast up the side of a wall. Like, you'd be walking with this kid's nude in public, you're walking with them, and then it's just like, where's the kid? And it's like, oh, they're ducked down over there, and then it's like they stand up, and it's just a fucking streak on the wall, dude. Like he's got jungle kids for sure. I just seen a picture. I haven't been on Facebook in 6 months. I haven't been on Facebook in 6 months. I go on Facebook, and there's a picture that Skylar put up of a bunch of shit all down the side of the door of her truck into like the little cubby that's on the door. The kid just shit down the side of the door of their truck. It's all truck's ruined. It's ruined. They had to sell the truck. You know, like
Sell it.
sell the fucking truck.
Who's gonna buy it if it's ruined? It's ruined.
It's ruined.
Oh fuck
Dude,
me.
ferocious
Like,
shitters.
Why are they not wearing any kind of layer?
Because I mean, when they had their first kid, they were still like we'd all still party and potluck and get together. Like I think they all still do, but I'm not there anymore. But like they'd bring this kid around, and Skylar would just be holding this kid like in her arms, like the kid's sitting down facing everybody, and his ass out, and all of a sudden it would just all over the bottom of her shirt. Or she's like, oh shit, and like go and hold her over into the bushes, or just let her fucking piss and shit in the bushes, and then come back and like just be holding her at the fire, and it's like, are you gonna do something about this? And then it graduated to like just like the kid could walk, and now it just goes and shits wherever it wants. And it's like, I get it, I fucking
There's
get
something
it. That's
so fucking punk rock of not toilet training your child.
They'll learn.
It's just like, nah.
Yeah, they'll
Like,
learn
they're
on their
gonna
own.
Go where they go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell them anything.
Like that's like.
Yeah, a kid shit down the side of a truck door. You know, like it's 4 years old.
There's just something so cool about that. Like when it comes to raising a kid, like you can do all these things, and you're gonna teach
Yep.
them not to be this, not to be that. But like right away, they're just like, nah. Kid can shit wherever
like,
it fucking wants.
Do you think if they're
Like-
taking their kids out in public right now, are they putting masks on their faces?
I think they just live in the woods, man.
Oh, okay. They're fine then.
Yeah, like I think they and like even when I was living there, very minimal town exposure. I'd see Kurt and Skyline in town a handful of times during the summer. That's it. I'd be parked somewhere and they'd pull up and be like, "Oh, we were just at the fucking wholesale. We were just getting gas." You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Like
no, cool.
and like you never see them.
I
Never,
just mean
ever,
though,
ever.
like they're clearly not wearing any kind of drawer. Like
No, there's no mask if they're not wearing Jordan.
yeah.
The thing is, I think my impression is that I don't keep up with them. Like, I haven't talked to them in a couple months, but my impression is, based on that picture that I've seen, that they're trying to, like, teach them not to do that anymore.
Not to do it in
that
the
was more of
doors.
like, that was your first couple years, and now we're going to graduate into using toilets.
Or just not
Just my
in
impression.
the car door.
Yeah, no, get out of the truck if you're going to shit.
Bring a bucket.
Like,
Bring it.
the only rule in this family is don't shit in the truck. You know, like,
No rules, Mom.
yeah.
Oh, fuck me to cheers. That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
I want to do that if I have kids.
Oh yeah, toilet training
Oh,
is
yeah.
for fucking
Yeah.
cucks.
Just
Yeah,
leave
eat
them
with
in the
your hands.
Leave them in the basement.
Wipe with the leaves.
on the concrete floor and be like, hey, this is your room now.
Yeah, like something. Just that mentality is so fucking cool. Like, no, just shit wherever you want.
Yeah. You gotta
Oh, we
learn
got
that
some
shame
fucking-
to know and to not to
we
do
got
it
some-
again.
And
Got
you
some
would.
punk
You would
parking-
learn to not
parking on my
shit
block
where you
here.
eat.
Yeah.
It trial and error, but you'd learn to not shit on the like kitchen floor and then have to have lunch and eat your zoodles right
Dude,
after.
That's fair.
We went over this. Dogs learn, and fucking dogs are just hairy babies.
Are you saying that
You know,
Curtis's kids are not as
Feral.
together as
They're
your
feral.
average
They're
dog?
Dude, they're feral. They're as close to feral as you want your kids to be.
Are their
No
ears
kidding.
pierced?
Oh,
Hard to say, man. Hard to say.
have they ever
Maybe some Wranglers
have they ever
got
had
them.
haircuts? I don't know anything about his kids.
No.
No haircuts.
I don't think they've had haircuts. No, I doubt it.
Just-
I doubt it.
That's so
I
dumb.
seen a picture of Furley there a couple weeks ago.
Wait,
It's the
what's the
cutest kid in
kid's
the
name?
world.
Furley?
Early, yeah.
Okay.
Furley, yeah.
What does that
I don't know
mean?
the new one. I don't know what the new one.
The new
name
one.
is.
I don't know what the
Yeah.
sequel
But she's like 2 now or something.
Yeah. Anyway.
But anyways, yeah. I don't think Furley's had a haircut. She's got fucking long ass hair.
Yeah.
But the new one's might have had a haircut. I don't know. Maybe they're trying something different for the second kid. They're killing it either way. They're killing it. Kids are well fed. They're living a good life. You know, everyone's happy.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got all the money they need. You know, don't need anything else. Like, they're fucking killing it.
Good for them. We should
I mean, the
probably
kids are gonna be wild animals,
stop
but they're
putting
killing
their
it.
parenting skills on blast.
No,
That's just
no,
what I
no, no.
feel.
No.
Fucking. But you know what else?
I
is
mean,
fun?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I admire it, but I'm not like it's not shameful.
It's not shameful. I don't think it's wrong.
No, I mean,
No,
if
it's
it works,
hilarious.
Like if it works, it works.
Dude, I'm like partying with them, and the kids just fucking shitting all over the place. You gotta watch where you. Midnight comes around, the kid's still up. You gotta watch where you're walking. Man. You know, like you
Fucking-
catch a shit,
Fucking baby
go take a
apples
knee
everywhere.
somewhere, and you got. Yeah, exactly. Dude, and it's putrid, dude. It's not like a human man, like a human shit. It's baby shit.
Babies just like, yeah, it's slurp.
It's disgusting.
It's a
It's
slurry.
pretty much fucking piss. You know, like,
It's ass
piss
piss.
everywhere.
Piss its ass.
Yeah.
See, like, I'm down with the idea of just like, yeah, just shit wherever you want. Who cares? But then you gotta still wipe or clean
But
up
then you
after
get older.
yourself.
Yeah, there's got to be a rag somewhere.
Yeah, there's still step 2.
For sure.
You got to get rid of the.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're working on that. Maybe they're
I don't
working
know.
on that
Maybe
before the
they're
kids get into school.
Dialing
You
the
know,
diet
like-
down. It'll just like fucking get
Imagine this kid.
Oh
Imagine
my
this
God,
kid at
school.
fucking first grade or first day of
Shows up
kindergarten.
naked.
Fucking.
Everyone's wearing masks because of COVID, and he's just fucking dumping in his cubby.
Oh my
Not
God.
even. He's dumping in the semicircle in front of the teacher.
Dumping at the pencil sharpener.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. Punk as fuck, man. Punk as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not toilet training
Yeah.
shit.
Figure
Kid's gonna
it
learn the
out.
hard way.
Yeah. We learn the same way. I
But yeah,
learned.
speaking of punk as fuck, we did watch, or we all kind of watched some.
We
shit.
watched all different movies, but all about
Yeah.
like basically Berkley, California, 87 to 95. All centering around 924 Gilman Street, which was like a punk rock mecca. Like throughout the 90s, I think it went into the 2000s. It's not there anymore, but it had a good run.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know anything about the modern history of it, and I don't even really know much about the past history. But like the salad days or whatever, the
Yeah.
original years. Like, that shit is so enviable. Just how rad that scene was, even
Yeah.
though, you know, it had its fucking fights and people dying and drugs and abuse and shittiness to it, sexism, racism, all that shit from, you know, the community. They had refuge at Gilman and at a few other small joints around the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So rad, man. Like, so enviable. Like, the
Yeah.
first thing I said, like, an hour into that thing, I only got an hour in, but it's like, dude, I wish we had, like, 40 more bands in town.
Yeah.
And, like, we were all way cooler. Because we weren't that cool, you
It's
know?
when you take the, like, needing to make money away from things, you just get something so much more clean.
It's pure.
And
Yeah.
basically,
And just
this
a different time,
building
too.
Yeah.
was like, I guess in a way, it's like a co-op. Like, all the bands that wanted to use it as a practice space kind of paid rent.
Yeah.
But you divide, like, whatever the rent is for this building, you divide it 20, 30 ways. So, like, bands aren't paying much to have, like, a piece of the pie. And this is a practice space you use all week, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the weekends, you do shows and you sell tickets.
Yeah.
But
But
We all had
otherwise,
odd
it's like this is
jobs
a
and
practice
fucking-
space. Yeah, and it's just like all the
Yeah.
bands that, like, form there because it's like, hey, there's a practice space. Like, I don't even
Now,
necessarily...
it wasn't like an innocent environment by any means,
No.
but it's much better than being on the street,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you know, and fucking shit up and
Yeah.
not doing something productive. So
Well-
yeah, you got a sense of community, you got a purpose, and you got a fucking rad
You got a
pastime
scene.
making music
It's the
and
scene.
partying.
As much as that, it's like
Yeah.
the scene is like frowned upon because it's like you're fucking degenerate kids,
Yeah.
right? It's like there is a level of like, what's the difference between this and like getting your kids into sports? Like, you got to give them a purpose.
You gotta do something.
right? And
yeah.
this, by the sounds
Yeah.
of it, was like they kind of all had a stake. If not a stake, it was like, I know, like Tim Armstrong talking about, or like Matt Freeman talking about how
He's the garbage man.
he was the garbage man. That every
Yeah.
Monday it was his job to collect up all the garbages and take them out. And that's like, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like that whole like, this is my space. Like, there's a reason
Yeah.
for you to do this, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's a sense of pride to that too,
Yeah.
and like,
I think Hoobastank said it once, that like the reason is you, you know, like.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, great reference
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh, they were ahead of their time. I think they played Gilman Street.
Oh, yeah. He was
Yeah,
saying
for sure.
solo Gilman.
I think they're the first show there. Yeah,
First and last.
for sure. First and last, Hoobastank.
Last I heard,
Little
you could
did you
like
know.
rent Hoobastank for like $5,000 to come play your birthday parties.
Fuck, let's do that August, like, long weekend.
Yeah, Mike, you coming home?
Get
Mike's coming home.
Hoobastank.
Hoobastank's playing.
Dude, I'm coming home for Hoobastank. I'll
we're,
tell you that
we're
much.
make our own Gilman
Yeah.
Street with Hoobastank.
We're getting stank up at Fairholme there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm down. But I think it's also the sign of the times. Like, information wasn't easily accessible.
No.
Like, people were still being pushed into like lifelong careers of sadness and stuff. Like, and it wasn't modern times.
Yeah.
They needed something. Those fucking kids needed something. And with the help of like old hippies and old punks and shit, they fucking created history.
Yeah.
That's still inspiring people today.
They definitely, it's like no different
Yeah.
than like the hippie movement. Like, they
But
definitely
it
like
just,
carved out their own
occurred
little.
so natural, and I just love the naivety that money wasn't an issue. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as like Larry, whatever the
Well, I
fucking
think
guy's
that
last
Larry
name is.
Livermore guy.
Yeah, he
Livermore.
started the like
I
Gilman
think he was just
thing.
some rich old punk, right?
I don't know if he was rich, but it's like he started the Gilman project, had all these bands, and then from that started the record label Lookout and like signed off
Yeah.
Ivy. But it wasn't
Dude,
like this is
he
my
he started Trey Cool
All of
into
it.
that's what
yeah.
like he fucking played in the Trey Cool played in Larry Livermore's band when he was like 10.
Yeah. But I mean,
know, like
I just
that's-
mean as
Wow,
far
okay,
as
hold
like
on a second.
this wasn't a
No, for real.
This wasn't like
Dude, this
it wasn't a
No.
business plan of like start a practice space, start a record label, and then you're gonna get
No.
a Green Day. Like it just happened. Like
No,
oh,
no.
I'm gonna start a practice space. We should start doing
Let
shows.
these-
Like these bands are actually
let-
pretty
yeah,
good.
give
I'm
these
gonna put
kids
out
something
the
to do.
albums.
I don't know. I'm not trying to throw shade at this dude, but it kind of started to sound like a pedo ring.
He probably darted a few minutes.
a little bit. The thing is, though, I
Like,
think like
there's
in
a-
that
there's
community,
something
that
here.
just wouldn't have been tolerated.
10
He would have
years
been
old
lynched
in his band.
No, he would have been lynched. Okay, so get this. This was I turned it off. I only watched like an hour of that East Bay Turn It Up or whatever it's called.
No.
East Bay documentary. But it was like right at the end of when I turned it off. It was that Larry Livermore guy was like, "Fuck the scene, I'm moving to the hills."
Right.
And it was like mid 80s or early 80s or something. He's like, "Fuck the punk scene in LA, it's too violent, all this shit. I'm moving to the hills." Bought this fucking ranch or whatever in the hills, and Trey Cool's family had a house there too. And it was like, I guess they were like, oh, that guy, like the parents were like, oh, that fucking hippie over there, he's always banging his music and shit. And like Trey and, you know, the kids in that area would be like, oh, that guy's playing like rock and roll, like he must have a band. And they just started going over there, and then it was like that Larry Livermore guy was like, oh, this kid's got like a natural whatever ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a showmanship about him and stuff. Like, we should just get him behind the drums. And sure enough, he was fucking natural.
Yeah.
And then they started the Lookouts.
Cool.
Like, in this, he was like 10 years old, man, or whatever, 12 years old. And it was like, and then shortly after that, it was like he moved back down or whatever, and they started Gilman and all that shit.
That's cool.
It's just a neat little sidebar to
Yeah.
that. Like that, I mean, I was saying in our chat, like, it's just rad that this history's recorded and like we can like indulge on it and actually like hear about it and learn about it from firsthand people. And it's like, this is the roots of like my ethics and like lifestyle and interests. And it's like, I'm not those people, but it's like I would have fucking like fit right in to the, you know, I probably would have been dead hanging out around that shit. But it's like, that's exactly what I feel inside of me too. And I remember what it felt like as a teenager, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
And just
And like having a place in a
so
like,
fucking cool.
like he might be a bit of a pedo, but like kudos to him, you know?
Yeah.
like
For doing his thing.
Geek
'cause, like,
Killers,
that
am I
was a
right?
huge
way
record.
like music genres and years removed. But I used to live in this like punk flat whatever like skateboard park venue in Toronto. And just recently, the guy that kind of runs that, like, they've been doing shows there for years. It's fucking rad. Like, to live there was cool. Shows every weekend. And he's trying to put together, like, a really, like, accurate documentation of the Toronto underground music scene from, like, 2008 to 2012. And he's, like, championing that as, like, that's, like, the mecca of, you know, Toronto music. Like, all these bands came out.
I mean, it's round 7.
But I'm
round 8,
listening
round
to it.
9,
I'm like,
it's-
that's cool. Like, I lived there.
Yeah.
Like a few years after that. Like, I guess I'm like somewhat attached, but it's nowhere near the same thing.
No, dude.
It's manufactured.
No.
I mean, even just like the effect on the rest of the world, the coolness.
Yeah,
like,
it's real.
who
It's
gives
real.
a
It's a
shit,
thing.
Like, where
But it's like
Colorado
round
had their
26.
First show, you know, like
Yeah.
who gives a
Yeah.
fuck about Colorado? Like,
Yeah.
that's never gonna be anything other than like, oh, they were kind of a band.
That guy
once.
used to
I just-
play.
But it's
I
not
read-
like
yeah.
Operation Ivy at Gilman.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's nothing that can touch that.
I remember when, like,
Yeah.
was it Metric?
Metric.
came
Yeah.
out, and like one of our buddies just like being like, oh, like Metric sick, blah blah blah, and it's like,
And they're cool,
and,
sure.
Oh, and this is not where that's going.
Okay.
It's like that, yeah, not for me. Like, I think they kind of suck, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, but like, dude, it's like the girl from like Broken Social Scene, and
Yeah.
like it's the same girl as this. Like, they're all like, it's like this one band that was a
Yeah.
band, and then they all broke off, and like that's just like the Toronto scene, and it's just like, yeah, that's cool, but like I think it
I
sucks.
don't care, though.
Like,
I mean,
sorry.
there's
Like-
merit in that. There's merit in that for some people,
Yeah.
and it's also like they might feel that way about Gilman or CBGBs or fucking, you know, any of the other fucking prominent
Yeah.
punk associated, punk adjacent fucking scenes, right? Like,
Yeah.
but still, it's like that's relevant to them and that thing. It's
Yeah.
nowhere near the social
And,
impact.
I mean, the
or
only thing I
anything,
can
but-
say is it's like it's like the same as like Operation Ivy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that this like almost mythical band in the punk scene that like existed for like a blip, but
Yeah.
like changed it.
Yeah.
But it's like they went on to do like Rancid, the guys, like the main
Yeah.
guys in the band, right? And like that's my metric, I guess
Yeah.
you could say, right? Like that's my broken social
For
scene.
sure.
But that to me story is like way cooler than like we met up at Dundas Square.
Well,
and
I
then we
mean,
went
like,
to Honest
as
Heads.
far as like Metric comes on the radio.
It's not punk.
yeah,
It's punk at
Honest
all.
Heads is not punk.
Metric comes on the radio, and I'm like, oh, this song's tolerable. I'm not going to change it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
30 years from now, no one's going to be talking about metric and broken social
No.
scene forming
Not
at
the same way.
sneaky
No.
D's. Like, no one gives a fuck.
over
It's just
nachos.
like,
Yeah.
whatever. Who cares? It's like, it's the
Thing is,
same thing
it's
as
cool
Land.
in
It's the
its
same
own-
thing as
Yeah.
Smash
Yeah.
Mouth. It's like those bands made
But like
no.
you got the Flatliners, you got the Cancer Bats coming out of Toronto.
there's some
right?
cool
Like,
ones, but they're not like the music scene has changed.
It's still it's that to somebody else.
It's
But this
feeling-
is like
it's new
widespread,
music.
right?
Is this the move?
It's like every year there's new music, and those bands consume time on that. That's new music,
Yeah.
but they're not changing anything. Versus like this, venue in just outside San Francisco
Yeah. It's the
that
first of its
actually
kind, man.
did. Like, wow, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you
And now
can't-
there's small venues like that in every city I've ever been to.
yeah.
Like we had like Soy Bomb you were talking
Mm.
about, right? It's like we had there's something like that used to be here too. It's called SKB.
Yeah.
And it's like shows and people squatting and skate park inside and fucking beers and everything, right? It's like they
Yeah.
had that. So to somebody else, SKB is Gilman,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
But it's still not Gilman,
it's not-
but
which is
I
the
think,
moral of this
like,
whole
I
fucking
don't want to
bullshit
use the
we've been
term
rambling
like
about.
copycat, but it's like Gilman fucking started
Well,
it.
it's homage.
It's
You know what I
started,
mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And
That was
again,
the start
I
of
think
it.
it all comes back to, from what I understand about Gilman, it wasn't there to make money.
No.
Like, it was a rehearsal space and they did shows, versus the spot that I lived in was to make money.
Yeah.
Like, bands didn't
Yeah,
play
yeah.
there all day for fun, to practice, to meet each other, to make a scene.
No.
It's like we only had shows on the weekend. And the band got there like 2 hours before the show, did sound check, and they left right after.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
authentic. It was like, this is a venue to make
is a
money.
job,
There's
yeah.
you have to pay money to get in.
But
And that money
also-
goes to the bands.
But also,
That's sweet.
You were living.
But I also lived there.
You were
to
living
pay-
there, and would you want a
hang
bunch
it.
of kids hanging around?
I wouldn't want that at this age. But if I was 19, 20,
Yeah.
living there, like,
For
that would
sure.
be rad.
Yeah,
You
for
just
sure.
want to jam all fucking day. We'll work on a set, and we're going to do a show Friday night.
Yeah.
And we're going to make up a band name. Like, our band's going
Yeah.
to be called Gary's Kids. Like, that would be fucking
Yeah.
rad when
Yeah.
you're 19, 20. But
That's
me
where
living
Jerry's
there when
Kids
I'm
came
like
from.
31, 32, it's like, I don't want bands here all day making noise.
Yeah.
And the
that's-
guy
yeah.
that owns it, like, doesn't want that either. Like, he wants to make money. It's a venue.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's not fucking Gilman.
That's why it
Yeah.
wasn't Gilman, and I think it's like,
Yeah.
not to talk shit, but him trying to like archive how important it was for Toronto music. I'm like, it isn't though. No one cares.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
and
again, to some people, in some cases, sure, but
some cases,
just not
even if you
overall.
like were to say like, oh,
It's-
there's 80 to 200 people there every Friday and Saturday, you're not gonna count on more than
Yeah, listen,
30
it's
people
different
buying
animal,
this
dude.
book. No
It's
one gives a
also-
shit.
Like, not to say
Yeah.
the same with like Soy Bomb, but I feel like the Horseshoe Tavern
Yeah.
is like this weird thing in Toronto where it's
Yeah.
like that is like the pinnacle for like indie scene.
but we missed that.
But
We
that's what I.
missed
But
that.
even like when you
Yeah.
hear things where it's just like, oh, like, yeah, like there's a
The
scene,
Rolling Stones
and
play
it's like,
there.
yeah, but the
Still
scene-
revered
It would be
now.
like if Gilman Street was still a thing now and people were using it as like a
Right.
jumping off point. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
playing there, but
It's got the history.
it's not the
It's not the
fucking like
same.
Neil Young
Yeah.
Rolling Stones playing it in the 70s.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean? Like that's what made that place what it is.
Even like in New York, like CBGB's
CBGBs,
ran
yeah.
until like 2005,
yeah.
but it didn't mean anything after the Ramones ruined it in '78.
yeah.
Like it didn't. Like
Yeah.
no one gave
yeah,
a
by
shit.
the '90s, it wasn't.
No
yeah,
one
it
cared.
wasn't.
Even in.
I
yeah.
mean, like, still hardcore bands came out of there. Like, there was a scene, like H2O, fucking Madball, Agnostic Front,
Front,
all
yeah,
those bands.
they played
right?
there, but it's
They
not,
all, but that was its own thing. It wasn't the
Yeah.
Ramones era CBGB.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like this.
It wasn't nurturing a scene anymore. It was just like a fucking.
No.
Oh, it's another. Club.
Well, it was its own scene. It's a new scene. It's like, again, like it's important to them for their reasons at that time. But like, there's something to say about Gilman being the first to do it the way they did it, volunteer based, fucking
Yeah.
as a community, as a exclusive or like a whatever safe space, and just like uncluttered with bullshit. Everyone was there to have a good time.
Well, it's funny.
And again, not about money. Like it wasn't a business.
To add to that, like I feel like again, like the
So
one
rad.
that we watched was like just the story of Operation Ivy. It was like a 40-minute little doc on the story of Op Ivy, and basically like their downfall, if you want to call it that, to me came off as it got to the point where they outgrew their little scene that they had, and it's like it's time now for you guys to like tour and start making money that way. But like to them, it was like that's not why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
we'll just stop because it's not. This isn't what we wanted out of this.
Yeah.
We were just doing it because like we could jam in this place and like
we'll
you
play
know.
weekend shows at Gilman, and now they're sold out. So we
All
have
our
to do,
friends are here.
Yeah.
we have to do like the Saturday matinee show and the Saturday night show because it's every show selling out. And to them, it's
Yeah.
like this isn't about selling out shows, and we just want to play, and we can't if
Yeah.
this place is fucking packed to the gills.
To the Gilmans.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna disband and start over like new bands.
Yeah, and that's it. But then
Well,
it's
and like they touch on it too. It's like Matt and Tim were just like a fucking force immediately.
They kind
Yeah.
of say that,
Right,
in
like
this,
fucking
yeah.
immediately, they're like two peas in a pod, wrote well together, fucking play well together. So it's like there was nothing stopping those two from doing what they did, and that was Rancid and a bunch of other fucking
Yeah.
millions of things as well. Like not to underplay any of that, but most notably Rancid after Op Ivy. But it's like but Op Ivy was doing Op Ivy. That's
Yeah.
not Rancid. That's not Matt and Tim separated from that. That's fucking what they're doing was partying, making music, being at Gilman, fucking around their friends. Like that's the goal of that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought it was really cool.
it's
The-
unbelievable.
the one that me and Skyler saw kind of like touches on when Op Ivy died, and there might have been like 3 or 4 years before Rancid started, and the issue was like Tim was drinking too much and Matt didn't want to be in a band with him because he like keeps fucking up and like, but like Matt was saying to him, I'm gonna still like play music with you and jam all the time, but I don't want to be in a band until you're sober for a year. And like anyway, that was the ultimatum. It eventually led to Rancid, but I just think that's so cool that it wasn't about like we're gonna put out albums and tour and make money like everyone else that wants to be a rock star. It's like we can still play every day, we can still jam and write songs, but I'm not officially a band until like
get
it
your
was
shit
about
together.
just playing together all the time. It's
Yeah.
like that's what they did. It's not like
Dude,
Tim
listen to
disappeared
lyrics.
for a
Listen to
year.
fucking lyrics.
Yeah, he didn't disappear for a year and come back and like I'm sober. It was like we jammed and played every day for a year,
Yeah.
and then it was like, oh, by the way, it's been a year now. We can actually like call this a band and like record. Like
Yeah.
I just think that's so cool and authentic that it wasn't like we're starting a band to book a show to put out a CD and then
Oh,
do
yeah.
a tour. It
No,
was
I
like,
feel like
we
that's-
just want to play music together every day.
I think that's just like the music scene now. It's
Yeah,
like there's a
it's
lot
like,
of bands.
what's the
out
goal?
there
What's
that
your goals?
It's like let's start a band. Sick. Like let's get band photos taken.
What's your band's name?
Yeah.
It's like we don't have a band. We just play
We
together.
just make music together.
We
I
like
know.
write songs.
Or like,
we do cool riffs.
is that your song? Oh no, that's someone else's song. Oh, is that your song? No, that was someone else's song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you in a fucking band for then? It's cool to play other people's songs. Pay homage. Fucking, we all
But
love music. That's why we're
Practice
doing
space.
it. But
That's what you do that there.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You can't have a band of someone else's material.
Yeah.
You can't
Unless you're
do
the
it.
gimme.
You sure as hell can't charge money for that.
No.
You criminal.
Fucking
But,
cucks.
yeah,
Like,
it's
go
like
play
I know
free
there's-
shows to your friends. That's fine. But like,
Yeah. And like I don't know, there's something to it. Like I mean, even like in that thing, they actually they didn't say that in the show that we watched, but I know there's a story out there about Fat Mike from NoFX was on tour, and was like obviously was like kind of part of that Gilman scene, going up whatever.
Yeah, he's in San Francisco.
Right,
It's across
and-
the bay.
But his plan at one point was he was gonna quit NoFX, disband it,
Yeah.
and be a roadie for Operation Ivy because they were killing it.
Right.
And they were like such a sick band, and it
Yeah.
was just like my band
like
sucks.
he considered doing that.
yeah, like I think he even like quit the band for like a week, and then like it didn't, the band like Operation
Right.
Ivy.
That
didn't.
might be in his book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's actually in the linear notes of the BYO split.
Okay.
That's where I think I read
Really?
it first.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
because it was.
I feel like it
Rancid
might be
NoFX,
in
right?
that hepatitis thing too.
Oh, it's definitely in there.
I think
I'm
it might
just
be in
saying,
that
like,
hepatitis thing.
that was the first time I heard that story. Was
Right.
when that like
That's
03
pretty rad.
or something.
You know,
stupid.
you can't find that record anymore.
No.
Next time I'm home, I got a copy. I'll bring it
The
over.
BYO I have
you
it.
can
Well,
you
you
have,
have
but I
it.
don't think it works. We've
You
talked
got
One
about
side
this.
but you
doesn't
can't
Yeah.
fucking.
One side works.
Yeah,
the
that's the
other-
thing. That was like there's 1,000 copies like that where
Yeah.
you fucking
One
it's
side.
like the rancid side doesn't fucking play. It's
Yeah.
all skippy or,
Yeah.
I think they
or
did
it's
it
not
on
grooved
purpose.
right,
Yeah.
No effects, just cucked
warped
them.
or something.
I don't know what it is. But yeah.
But like those, like you can't find that record. You can't even get it on Spotify. You can get it on YouTube or
Oh,
get
yeah.
it illegally.
yeah.
But if you didn't buy the CD or the record, you don't got it.
I'm
For the
gonna
most
throw
part.
him under the bus here, but our boy Foreman lost my NoFX BYO split when he came to visit you in Vancouver. He said
I
that
probably have it.
he took a no. He said he actually took a corner, as your friend, but your friend would say too tight ass.
Tight ass turn.
And he,
Tight ass
he
corner.
had one
yeah.
of those sweet, like, you know, that when you'd flip your visor
Oh,
down,
yeah, and the
all the
visor,
CDs
yeah.
were there. And I guess whichever
Yeah.
way it was, when he whipped out the corner, he said all of his fucking CDs shot out of the window, and he lost it. Or like he found
What
it,
a
but it's
son of a
obviously just
bitch.
like
Destroyed.
just destroyed, right? And
Yeah.
it's like whatever. Like it's just a $20 CD that I love.
That you've had me thinking about that. Actually, RJ, since you messaged me talking, you said you were with Foreman and he was yelling about that trip, man. Like, so
Yeah.
wild. And even just talking with Dave last night, not to fucking railroad this thing, but so fucking wild.
Yeah, it sounds like
That
quite
was
the
my
trip.
Gilman.
Yeah.
That was as punk as it got for me. I was on a tear for like 3 months, man.
Even after they left.
Before they got there, after they left, yeah. Oh yeah, it might even have been 6 months. I can't even remember. It was just a fucking tear. Got kicked out of my house by the end of it. Fucking
Yeah.
Kurt got kicked out too. It was crazy, man.
Now that's how like I'm switching gears back to the music scene, and like I'm not saying that like that East Coast punk rock, like obviously I think that's kind of where it started, that in like British, right, with the
Yeah.
Sex Pistols.
But
But like it really, I don't know, it like the California scene.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say, RJ?
Britain.
Bad.
Britain.
Bad.
okay.
But
Wanted to
like
clarify.
that LA fucking East Bay sound is like the punk that I'm obviously like
Yeah.
into.
When I think of 90s punk, I think of West Coast.
yeah,
For
Yeah,
sure.
For sure.
TSOL.
For sure.
Yeah. I remember, like, again, it, like, ages
Yeah,
me
Bouncing Souls
greatly.
is a good exception,
Yeah, honestly, I think
there's always, and it's not exceptions, like,
but it's a different sound.
it's just like, but there was like a time, like when we were like really getting into punk music, late 90s, early 2000s, when you could say what city the band was from and you had an idea what they sounded like.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a band from Boston. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
I
for
got
sure.
it. That's a band from,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, San Francisco. Okay, cool. I got it.
no doubt.
And
Yeah.
then I would still
Canada
talk
was
like
always
that.
kind of lumped in, though. Canada was just Canada.
Yeah, I don't.
It's kinda
they don't
hard to
have a
define.
It
sound.
was always those slow
Yeah,
punk bands
but
coming
there
out of
was,
Canada.
and I always refer to that
Like
like, oh,
DLA,
like
right?
here's a cool band, like where are they from? And people look like, who cares where they're from? But it is just like ingrained in me.
But no,
Yeah.
that's
Of,
ingrained
like,
in me. Yeah,
they're,
that's it, totally
they're
ingrained
from
in
New
me.
York. I'm like, oh, okay, I know what they sound like.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or I think I do. You could surprise me, but I think they probably sound like
Yeah.
sick of it all.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And that's a thing that doesn't exist anymore.
no.
Like when you hear like Colorado, it's like I don't know where they're from. They all sound the same. Like every band just
I don't
listens
care.
to
I
every.
don't
They all
care.
fucking sound like they got MySpace. Like I have no idea.
I mean, I'm into
Yeah.
the like acoustic punk rock thing,
yeah,
but it's like that's obviously that like country vibe, but
Yeah.
the California country vibe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That it's that like kind of what you're saying, where it's just like they would have never ever wrote those songs, before, like when they were kids growing up, it was always like punk, like we're
Yeah.
doing this. But now that they're older and it's like you listen to more music and it's like, oh, you know what, like in the South there's this like folk movement, like I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
write songs like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So then they write them and put it, like Old Man Markley I think is like a example of this, where
Right.
he's like, one of them is from Youth Brigade,
Yeah.
which is like a California punk band, but then
Yeah.
his like side project was like, they had like fiddles and shit, like
yeah,
very
Yeah,
Reverend
yeah.
Peyton-esque, and it was
Yeah.
cool. I really enjoyed that band, but it's like this isn't like deep South like folk music, you know, like
No,
Yeah.
it's a bastard of a bunch of shit. But like
Yeah.
that, like to bring it back around, like Gilman, it's like that was the first of its kind in that
yeah,
way.
everything got
You
caught.
know,
like
that's.
if I was
yeah.
to write a
But
punk
like they
rock
were even
album,
saying, I don't know if they
would
said it
be
in the
that
Op Ivy
style
thing.
of California punk rock. You know what I mean? Like that's the music I listen to. That's what I would do. But it's you know it's coming out of Guelph, Ontario.
They were saying though that like in that doc, they're like, you know, it wasn't even really like a thought out thing. Like we're all gonna have our own sound. But like somehow that band, like the bands of that era, if you listen to any of them, they've accomplished that. Even though they're in their small little fucking scene, it's like they all sound different but have the same. I don't know. There's something so similar about it, but none
Silver
of them sound
coins
the
on the
same.
kick
Like
drum.
there's like even the poppy bands, even when the poppy bands started playing, and like even into the 90s, like the Fat Wreck poppy bands and shit like that too. It's like they all kind of sound the same, like they're from the scene, but they
Yeah.
don't sound the same, like they're the same band.
Right.
Yeah. You know what's shitty
You know,
too?
like it's
though?
cool.
like,
It's cool. The diversity, even in that small scene.
to bring it like into Canada as well. I feel like Canada's like scene is that shitty pop punk scene, like Sum 41,
Sum 41.
Simple
Avril.
Plan. Yeah, like that was Canada's contribution.
Well, since 2005, maybe.
yeah, but you know what I mean though, that it was like what Gilman Street did for California. Like
Yeah,
you know,
741 did for
yeah, for
Whitby.
Southern Ontario, Ajax.
Yeah.
Right? Like if there was I don't know. I feel like there was a point there where every fucking like if you know Blink 182 was like the California version of that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of fucking shitty pop punk bands coming out of Toronto. Much music. Like
It got popular. It sounded
Yeah.
cool.
like Treble Charger. Like I remember when Treble Charger was like a soft indie like a rock band.
Yeah.
And then they had that fucking album, American Psycho or whatever, and it was like they showed up with all their hair spiked, and it's like, oh, we're a punk band now.
Yeah.
This is what we always wanted to do. It's
Yeah.
like, what? Like, what?
I don't even remember that band at all.
You guys went and saw them live. Go fuck yourself.
We saw some band live.
Yeah, you.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Me and Mike
Treble Charger.
and like our like girls we were dating at the time were
Oh,
friends.
dude, we were like fucking 25.
I don't remember what band
And we
that
don't
was,
think we
though.
went.
We went. We definitely
don't
went. It was at the Phoenix because I had buds
Oh
in the
my God, we
Teenage
did.
Kicks, and they put us on the guest
And they
list.
played one song. They
Yeah.
played one song. We're like, play that one song.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't play that anymore. And we're like, okay, we're out of
Play
here.
it! We just
Whatever.
called them cucks and
Yeah.
screamed it. They played it, but was it?
Did they play it?
I don't remember what band that was. It was something lame.
We couldn't
as
have been
fuck,
there for
like-
more than 3 songs.
No, we definitely left after they played that song. It was something like Treble Charger, or
Hoobastank.
it was that level
It
of
might
just
have been
like
Hoobastank.
garbage
It might
one
have
hit
been
wonder
Hoobastank.
band. And it's like, okay, we're on the
Might have
guest
been
list. I
Treble
got us
Charger.
in.
But I feel like Treble Charger was the band that like they had a one-hit wonder as
Yeah.
like a kind of grungy like
Yeah.
Pearl Jam-esque band, and then did nothing. And then when the pop punk
I don't
thing
even-
came
I
out,
honestly don't.
they were also again a one-hit wonder
Right.
band. But
I
in
think
that
that might have been the
pop-punk
band.
scene,
Yeah,
know,
you might
like,
be right. Because I feel like they were like French Canadian, whatever band this was that we saw.
Yeah,
Like maybe it was Limb Lifter. It was someone like
Slightly
that.
Limb Lifter. Simple Plan was from.
It wasn't
Montreal.
Simple Plan. It might have been Limb Lifter or like something like that.
That song Tinfoil on Big Shiny Tunes.
It was something like
one
that.
Or two is like one of the best.
Yeah, it was a
songs
band
ever.
that was like that. It might have been Limb Lifter.
Tinfoil.
Yeah.
So it don't spoil.
But they had 2 hits. It was like what you're saying, Treble Charge was like they had one hit wonder, and then like 4 albums later had another one hit wonder.
Yeah.
And you forgot, like, that's the same band, like the song's so different.
Yeah, they're back in pog form. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and it was a fun night, whatever.
Let's wrap this up, whatever the hell this
You don't want to
is.
talk about Treble Charger.
You want to talk
anymore?
about Treble Charger and Limb Lifter?
I can't even. I got so many people now pulling in with their dogs and shit
All
right
right.
here.
All right.
We gotta wrap
Let's
this up.
wrap it.
We'll wrap it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
another sweet band out of Toronto that's not a cuck is Bike Thieves. And they do our intro
check
and
them
outro.
out.
They're fucking rad. Support them on Bandcamp. They did a cool thing the other day where all their proceeds went to the BLs at M. They might still do that, who knows? Who knows when
Cool.
this comes out, but they're rad dudes.
Yeah.
Check them.
Remember always the P's are and spay and neuter your kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't fucking potty train your kids. Don't be a cock.
No, let them shit on the doors of your car.
Was that this episode? That was, wasn't it? Yeah. Thumbs up
Did
to
we
Operation
talk
Ivy
about
too,
that
man.
20
We barely scratched the surface on Op Ivy. That was supposed to be the name of the game, but we just all have so much love for that fucking scene.
Yeah.
And like what came out of that, and the years now that we're living in, influenced by that.
Yeah.
Fucking right on to Op Ivy. Godfathers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We
Night,
are
everybody.
Pretty Much
Night, everybody.
Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.